Hi, I'm Ari Schwieters. Today I'm going to share with you about the impact that Shakespeare had on the English language as well as English literature. First of all, Shakespeare wrote in early modern English. At that time, modern English was very new on the scene, and the vernacular and the foundations of the language had not been set. During the time the King James Bible was written, Shakespeare wrote his work in English as well. It is very possible that alongside the writers of the King James Bible, Shakespeare's work had a great deal to do with the laying down of the structure of the modern English language. This structure then would influence the very future of modern English for both speakers and authors. So how did he do it? Shakespeare wrote and performed his plays during a linguistic revolution. By many means, he explored this budding age and stretched its language outside of the prior eloquence of the 16th century to more of a perceptible yet complex style of the 17th century. His later plays captured this change, with the idea that less can be more. As historian and Harvard professor Perry Miller put it, Shakespeare's later work was more like looking through clear glass, rather than the stained glass style of his prior work. As we know, Twelfth Night was one of Shakespeare's middle works, written in 1602, right after the time transition from the 16th century to the 17th. If you have read one of his earlier works, such as Romeo or Juliet or Richard III, you may be able to find a difference in Shakespeare's style of writing. Another effect Shakespeare had on early modern English was his experimentation on the language itself. He created unique phrases to explain situations. These phrases to us today sound extremely overused and cliché. For example, it's Greek to me, or love is blind. A lot of us hear about the huge number of words that Shakespeare invented. However, the use of the word invented is not entirely accurate. Shakespeare really was the first to write down and print some 8,000 words. Some of these words are slang from his time period, and Shakespeare did not in fact make them up. So in other words, is Shakespeare kind of like a early modern English hipster who only took the words of the grungy English and spun it into something way cooler? Yes, I'd say so, though he did do more with words than just document slang. He also changed and embellished words to suit his artistic needs. He did this by verbifying or adjectifying words, for instance, turning express into expressive. He also added two words together to shorten up his explanations. For example, some of us don't describe the South Side fashion in which a man walked down the street. We just say he had swag, or at least we used to. Shakespeare not only added to the structure and style of early modern English, he also inspired many writers who came after him. For example, well-known poet James Fenimore Cooper, and one of the most remarkable American authors, Samuel Clemens, or Mark Twain, author of classic Huckleberry Finn. In conclusion, Shakespeare is more than a guy who wrote a lot of plays and constructed vivid words such as flowery or even a guy who is said to have worn a gold earring. Shakespeare, in fact, applies to us more than we think. In fact, without Shakespeare, you guys couldn't call yourselves muscular, and not one of us could be useful. We couldn't even be in a state of amazement, or say as we leave this classroom today that it's been an exhausting day's work. Now I think it is time that we all tip our hats to Shakespeare for the immense impact that he has had on our English language. Thanks for watching, and prepare yourselves for a Shakespearean insult slam.